Whaiti rai ka mā, tēnei mihi rere kauna kia koutou e whakarongo mai ana ki tēnei, ka hopu kia tēnei, pēnei nei I runga anō I taku mōhio, he wā whawhati ko tēnei. I know how busy you all are at this time of year, so just providing an option, a recorded option for you to have a look at. Now, on the screen here, there's a QR code that you can take a photo of, and it should open up this on your device, or if you can put this URL shortener in, and it will give you access to a little bit of a rogue copy. I've just gone a little bit done a few extra slides than were provided just to give a bit more information. So if you want to be doing this mahi with staff or to unpack it a little bit more in your own time, I've just done a few other bits and pieces. Hoi no. Ako me te Aromatawai, he awhiawhi tēnei, he kohinga kōrero. So basically the Ministry of Education are really keen on hearing from you fellas in the sector on the ground, working in kura with whānau, with tamariki, with hapu iwi and our hapori, to support the kaupapa. And with these two particular documents, the ACO framework, which is the first time that it's sort of been put out there for general feedback, and just to introduce te puawaitanga, te whakahauhanga, the revision, the tinkering and tweaking that has been done to ruku hararangi here, and just to get some feedback. Now, it's the feedback which is the most important thing here, e te whānau, especially those of us in te Waipounamu. We want and need to have professional learning and development materials, anything and everything that is pertinent to te Waipounamu. If we can't hear your voice, we don't have your voice elevated, we will end up with a North Island version of so whakaku inoi, tēnā koe te whānau, whakakia, so that we can be heard. Okay, so kariki and mihi, aku mihi kia koutou. We're just going to do a little bit of an overview just so that you've got the context in which these two documents are sitting in and have a sense of the whakapapa. We don't have lots of time to unpack it, but some of the extra resources in here, you can do that with your kaimahi, or your hapori, so that you gain a deeper understanding. So those are some of the extra resources I've added in. We're going to look at the ACO framework, and I'll show you the questions that you're going to be asked. And I will send out the URLs to the survey. We will then look at the Aromatawai, the revised Aromatawai, te puawaitanga harakeke, and again, those URLs as well. Okay, so there we go. So, ko te whainga matua, te aronga matua, to engage with critical audiences, so our kaiako, our stakeholders, our whānau in Māori medium, and to socialise the draft ACO framework and te puawaitanga harakeke, which is our Aromatawai position paper. So for the ACO framework, it's still in draft. The ministry and the writers, they need to hear what they're doing that's working, what they're doing that there's that's not working, or just is like feeling a little bit like or this misses the mark, or have you considered this, or so they need that critical feedback from you. Te puawaitanga harakeke, the ministry needs to know what you know that you need in order to be able to roll with this document to get the best out of it. So, you know, whether it's professional learning support and what that needs to look like within your context, at like here in Te Waipounamu. And like the second tier material, like anything and everything, whether it's for you or for a specific community. So have your pōtai whakaaro on as we're going through. Okay, so the documents are online and the link to them is on there. And there are physical books that you can access as well. So this is sort of the context in which it sits in. The tātāhuhu are charged with, had the opportunity with the refresh and the revision of NZC, Te Marautanga o Aotearoa, to look at how we can transform the whole experience. And so what they wanted was an education system that delivers equitable outcomes for tamariki Māori. And so after a lot of wānanga with a lot of different communities, what they looked at was how can we indigenize, localize, and create coherence with this new refreshed Te Marautanga o Aotearoa. So indigenizing, centering us as Māori, our ways of being, thinking, doing, knowing, localizing it so that it's locally driven, but there's still that national coordination, that coherence that needs to happen. So mana still on the ground and been supported nationally through, through different, and we'll look at what the writers have been working on. Okay, so the big outcomes for the whakahoutanga is revitalisation of te reo, so te reo mātauranga tikanga, aua āhuatanga katoa, and success for mokopuna Māori. Okay, this is another one of my rogue slides, but this goes along with an activity, and I will show you. It's hidden but it's as part of the slide, so it's hidden in there. There's some different explanations of the different documents that I'm going to go over. So I'm not going to go over them in depth because you can look at them in your own time. But localizing, so we all, like, it's maraua kura, and developing your own maraua kura has been something that's been with us for a number of years now. But they're looking at the whole big picture and all of, like, looking at what already exists and what they needed to create in order to better support kaiako kura whānau hapu iwi, to develop the local curriculum that to achieve the aspirations that whānau hapu iwi were wanting. And so one of the documents is the Te Rewa Marautanga. So that's the new Te Marautanga o Aotearoa. So it has, so there's that document. But before that even came into existence, there was this document here, Te Tamaiti Heirokura. And this again came from all of the wānanga and feedback. The writers got together, they synthesized that and said, okay, and let's do this in a really achievable way. And within that, they came up with four guiding po that are that influence the whole process. So it's mokopuna centered, it's whānau hapu iwi centered. So that's locally driven, and it's about mokopuna success with our regeneration of reo hapu mātauranga, etc., etc. Okay, so there's the four big ideas, which are he uri whakahe, so creating little Māori, like leveraging our Māoriness and creating uri whakaheke, so tamariki that are proud of who they are, their heritage, and that they know all about that. So being Māori is our trump card. Thinking in a Māori way is our trump card, and what we bring to the world. He tamaiti hei akonga, so Māori as learners. Oh gosh, now I'm trying to work with my memory. He puna kōrero, so tamaiti who are puna kōrero, who are speakers, proficient communicators and critical thinkers in our language. And he tangata, so our tamariki, our mokopuna, who are just really like good people, good citizens. So this document here influenced how this was written and is influencing everything. Okay, so the other support documents around it is our old mete here, Tūrangatira, which is supporting us to grow amazing Māori leaders. Hei raukura mō te mokopuna came from the voice of people within the sector. So although the ministry, it looks like the ministry is coming down and saying you must, this has come from voices from the sector, and I was part of our group that went out talking to people. So like I know that it is the voice in here. So around reo matatini and pāngaro, and that's the strategy of that related to how we can be strengthening reo matatini and pāngaro with a Māori, through a Māori lens, a Māori way of doing things. And then we come to ako and te pua waitanga, which are the two documents that we're looking at today. So our Aromatawai, our position on how we track mokopuna progress, leveraging all things Māori, and then how we can teach in a Māori way in order to achieve these aspirations at a local level. So the ministry have got how they see it all works together, which looks like this. So basically all of these documents exist in order to support kura to develop their maro kura, and which is linked to te tire wa marautanga, and all of these documents also support the te rewa marautanga. Awesome, like it, and I understand what they're doing, but my challenge is to sit with your own community and have a look at what these are all about, and think about how they do, or how these documents might support you fellows, or how you see them working. So this is my tutu for the kimu that we can't play online today, but to me the maro akura is central. I've added whenua because whenua is like grounding it, localizing it to where you are. So with your hapu, iwi, hapori, whānau, our mokopuna, and the link with whānau is always kei te toi o te whakaro. Ako and Aromatawai are partnership documents. They work all together. So they're besides influencing the maro akura, this is supporting our leadership, and this is just helping us think about some of those national priorities of literacy and numeracy. Māori nei, like how can we weave it in so that it is one magic whāriki. So that is the sort of the background in which these two documents sit, and you can see why it's so incredibly important to get your feedback on the documents themselves and the support that you need in order to unpack them and be able to integrate them into your kura and your mahi. So here we have it, our ako framework. So this is gathering voice to inform the draft framework. So we're just going to go over some of the key elements. Now, I want you to put this on pause, have a read of this, and just have a think about what, oh, hang on, no. So those are the questions, sorry. I just changed the order of the doc. So these are the questions that you're going to be asked for the uiwi at the end. So yeah, pause it, just have a quick skim read to know what you're going to be asked. And we'll move on. Okay, so again, the two big foci in terms of all of this is how can we support you to revitalise te reo Māori in Wātauranga, etc., and that education success for all our mokopuna. So this is the statement that the ministry put up. And the ako framework will, in its final form, support kaiako to design learning so that all mokopuna are competent learners, willing to challenge and experiment in their te reo matatini and pāngarau learning. So that and this statement here, this page here, so if you put this on pause and read it, the tāhuhu wants to know if there's what your feelings are about these statements. Are they on point? Is there anything missing? Can you see yourself already in it? Is there stuff that you strongly agree with? Is there anything in there that's a little bit jarring or missing? So because you've got it on pause, I'm just going to keep going so that you can just give yourself the reading time that you need. Okay. And our next slide. Okay, so the four guiding mātāpono of ako are kia rangatira te mokopuna, kia rangatira te reo, kia rangatira te whānau, hapu iwi. I took it out just so that my slides were still pretty. And kia rangatira te kaiako. So those are the four mātāpono, the four principles that guide the ako framework. So that's the outcome that we're sort of pursuing. And I'll go on to the next slide and it just explains it a little bit more. But I just wanted to point out one of the things that I've done is so this is the tohu for ako, but I just wanted to point out some of the things that the writers have done in order to map one document to the next so that you can see that each of the documents informs the others. So they've worked on Aromatawai, linking Aromatawai to ako, and this document to this document. And we'll have a look at some of the ways that they've done that. So on here, this is the tohu to te pua waitanga, the Aromatawai position statement. And you will notice, and we'll get onto it in a slide, that these are exactly the same statements as the rau Aromatawai from an assessment, an Aromatawai lens. So both Aromatawai and ako aspire to achieve rangatiratanga for mokopuna, for our reo, for whānau and kaiako. And I'll let you press pause and read over this, just so that you can get an understanding from what success looks like from an ako perspective. These are the things that you'll see and hear. Okay, so unpause and move when you're ready. Okay, so those four, there were four mātāpono, the rangatira ones, and then we jump into three pedagogical approaches. So four mātāpono and three pedagogical learning approaches. So all kaiako are teachers of mokopuna. All kaiako are teachers of reo. All kaiako are teachers of learning. And you might think, wow, that's a little bit simplistic, but the beauty is in the simplicity, and because we're just going to have a quick, next we're going to start to have a look at some of the way, the connections that the writers are have made. So here, this is the ako document, but the ako maps onto these aspirations, the four po. So all akonga are teachers of mokopuna, relates to two of the different po that that we're teaching them to be good people. He tangata te akoma, they're just good, solid Māori. And he uri whakaheke, so they're Māori that know their whakapapa, that are strong in their identity, their knowledge, their reo, etc. So the next thing, so we're teaching them to be good people and strong in their identity. The next one, we're teaching them, we're teachers of good reo. And being a reo fanatic, I was so excited to see this elevated as one of the three things, because in some places, in a lot of places, we use reo, but we don't necessarily have the training or the knowledge or the support to understand how to whāngai i te reo, because there's some really key approaches and ways of doing it, and in some ways that we shouldn't do it. So having one of these as one of the three, and again it maps onto he puna kōrero, and you can pause and read what that says. The last one, he akonga te tamaiti, is our link to the four different po. All kaiako are teachers of learning. So we're teaching them to be good people, we're teaching them to be amazing speakers, and we're teaching them to be great learners. So we need that support also. So it just helps us think, like, what are the three things that we're doing? So again, it's sort of just looking at how those are, how those work together. So put those up front already. In the email that I send out, it will have the URL to this. Jump in and have throw in your feedback. Okay, so Aromatawai, te puawaitanga harakeke. I'm not actually going to go into this in depth because I'm making the assumption that people already know ruku here, rarangi here. And when I actually unpacked it and had a look at it, not a lot of it has changed. What has changed is the support material that goes along with it, and the alignment across all of the other documents. So, so this has been around for a wee while. Ruku he raranga here has been around for quite a while now, and it just aligns beautifully, in my opinion. And I shouldn't be putting my opinion on anyone else, but I can, I think, yeah, they've done an amazing job making those connections. Okay, so in this bit, it's like what's Te Puawaitanga Harakeke, so it's just the refreshed, it's the refreshed Ruku Hea Raranga here, it's what it's been called now. Te Pā Harakeke is looking at all of the key components and how they map onto that huahua tau of the Harakeke. So there's the Mata Pono, which to me they've been held in there as a legacy thing, I think, because like I can see these elements already that they exist in these things. So if I was doing it and I was like thinking, okay, less is more, I would have admitted those, but I love that they've kept them in. And it's the onepu, it's the soil, and it's the nourishment that guides everything else. So this was included by writers that have passed on, and thinkers, and it's that whole whakapapa link. So it's awesome that it's there. And you can see how it does influence everything else in this pā harakeke. So there's the pakiaka, there's these three key positions in here, which we'll look at, and then there's the rau, which are the four main focal points, focus areas. So these are the two things that we're going to look at most this afternoon. Okay, so again, press pause so that you can read these, and just to get more of a sense if you haven't come across it. But these are a position that help inform us as educators to track mokopuna progress in a Māori way. Okay, so the four focus areas, again, so this is the big tohu, this is Te Puawaitanga Harakeke. This is also within Te Mata Pono in the Ako framework. So again, we're focusing on the same things. So in an Ako sense, in an Aromatawai sense, we are looking at doing and being that brings success for all mokopuna. We're centering whānau hapu iwi and their aspirations, knowledge, breo. So that's at the centre, ensuring that our kaiako and kura are successful, and one of our biggest aspirations, kia rangatira te reo, kia rangatira te mātauranga, and obviously kia rangatira te reo me te mātauranga o te takiwā. So there's a lot of repetition, but good repetition. And it's been simplified and made more succinct. In the material as well, and it's online, and you can get hard copies of these beautiful resources. This unpacks tairongo. So to me, tairongo is one of the key elements. Tairongo and aro are some of the key elements that set things apart from assessment. And these posters in English and in Māori, they're sort of double-sided. They help learning communities unpack what they mean in different ways. So they are an incredible resource. I encourage you to have a look at those. And te whānau aro, so it's what we bring to the Aromatawai process. And it unpacks the different ways of thinking and being that we can bring to Aromatawai in order to help us through that Aromatawai process. So again, press pause, have a look at it. Okay, so this is another one of my rogue slides where I just, I'm a visual person and I need to be able to see things all together. So I put these documents, all just elements of these documents onto the same page. I made this big because this is our centering mokopuna whānau hapu iwi. And so it's elevating us as Māori. Being Māori is our trump card. That's what's going to get us our mokopuna ahead in the world. And so to create uri whakaheke, good people, puna kōrero, amazing speakers, and amazing learners. And how we're going to do that is through all of these things. So by focusing on reo, centering mokopuna, providing support for kaiako and kura, and also focusing highly on whānau hapu iwi, so localizing, indigenizing, and then this whole thing, you can see that coherence that they've been aiming for. So in terms of, in order to be able to achieve this, kaiako are focusing on creating kaiako are teachers of mokopuna. So, and by that, creating uri whakaheke, strong in their identity, and good people. Kaiako are teachers of reo, so creating great communicators and thinkers through reo Māori, and kaiako are teachers of learning, so they're teaching, they're creating strong learners. Next. Here, these are the three pakiaka. So ako and Aromatawai are intrinsically linked, and you can see here and all over here that the way in which these documents work together, they're linked at that this sort of aria level. This other main pakiaka is like we're working to grow a beautiful Māori mind, a beautiful Māori mokopuna, and we're doing it in an authentic Māori tūturu way, and we know that it's ethical and it's rigorous as well. So it's, this whole thing is, this is how I interpret these documents working together. Okay, so Te Pua Waitanga Harakeke has, Te Pua Waitanga Harakeke, the position statement, which has these and these in it. But the ministry, the tāhuhu there didn't want to just leave it to chance that, and like, we'll put these beautiful documents out and just, and because they're out, things will be great. They were like, right, no, we can't just do that. They've listened to the feedback that they've got, and you have told them that they need a strategy and a support to roll it out. And that's where your voice comes, is really, really needed. So there is a strategy doc on board, but the main things is that there's 3 goals. And again, I'm press pause. and have a read. But there's 3 goals. The first goal is around te mana o te aromatawai. The second, te whakatinana i te aromatawai. The third, te mata i te aromatawai. So goal 1 is it's trying to create that cohesion. Like, let's get everyone on the same conceptual page, but like how you do it within your takiwa is how you do it. But at this conceptual level, we need to be doing some things the same ish in a Māori way. So they want to be able to promote, communicate, and demonstrate the uniqueness of Aromatawai, so everyone understands it, everyone gets some of those principles and those positions, and that it's a valid approach to understanding and forming mokopuna process. So we don't have to default to assessment. We have something that we can hold up and say, kei te pai, ma koutou te assessment, ma mātou, te aromatawai. So that's goal 1. And so what is it that you fellas need there in order to achieve that? Te whakatinana i te aromatawai, normalizing the practice of aromatawai to understand the growth, progress, and development of mokopuna. So we need to learn about it, then we need to actually be doing it and normalizing it. What in order to normalize it, what do you fellas need? Like, this is the stuff that you need to be giving feedback on. The third is te mata i te ako, enabling the sharing of authentic and ethical information to understand the development and progress of mokopuna at akonga, akomanga, hapori, and systems level. What do you need? What's missing? What does exist? Have you got something that's really cool that others might benefit from? So like a tauira that can be adapted, or do you have something that, like, it's in my head, I know that it looks like this, but I don't have time to actually do it. That's the stuff that you need to throw in there, te whānau. So please, please, please be sharing all of those sort of things. Okay, so our URL is here, and these are the questions in here. If there's anything that doesn't fit in here, this is the anything else we should consider. If, like, fill it out. If you, like, just can't bear to fill it out, give me a ring, hit me up on Facebook, email me and say, can I just, like, vomit it out to you? Yes, you can. I don't care how you give this feedback. We need this feedback so that that stuff can be created that is going to be useful for us down in te Waipounamu as well. Nā reira, e te whānau, ka waihoki ko, kua tata whāti community, ka nawhi tērā te whakarongo atu ki aku pahu, ko te inoi ia, whakakia ngā uiui. Ka nui te aroha.